Good morning, guys. Happy Friday, and welcome back to the vlog. I am coming to you guys from my car, driving downtown because the girl's got a hair appointment, much needed. Coming up on the vlog, aside from the little update on prep and life and everything, I do have some exciting stuff going on this weekend. Tomorrow, I will be leading the Shredded Cheddar posing seminar for the figure ladies, I think is what I'm anticipating. And so that's going to be at Animal House Gym here in New Berlin, Wisconsin. It sounds like it's a pretty good turnout, like 75 people or so. So that's going to be super fun. I helped lead it last year and then maybe even the year before. And so I am really, really excited to be back doing that, connecting with all the girlies and just giving them my posing wisdom and also just kind of like some show insight and whatnot, because a lot of times like the people that come here are people where it's like their first show. So yeah, very excited for that tomorrow, and I'm gonna take as many clips as I can for you guys so you can see some insight into that and hear some of my posing tips and tricks. And then today is actually a rest day, which is nice. So yeah, going to get my hair done and then gonna head home, knock some stuff out. I call it like my side hustle work between my posing, social media of Instagram and TikTok, and then my YouTube, and then First Form sponsorship content, all of those things. But then I am getting geared up to do a meal prep on Sunday. So I'll show you guys how I kind of prepare for figuring out how much food I need. We're going to pick up groceries and I'll show you guys the grocery haul. And then I also am lending some of my stage suits to a teammate that lives up in the Minnesota area because she did a bikini show last weekend, but based on judges' feedback and based on her physique, the judges wanted her to try figure. How exciting. So I am being a true homie and lending her some of my suits because I have like 7. And she's also going to be working with me with posing, which is super exciting as well. I actually have off of work today through Monday, and I figured I would catch up with you guys as I'm driving downtown, because last time I left you was 2 weeks ago, and at the end of the vlog, because I was editing it this morning, I think I might have jinxed myself a little bit. I was saying at the end of the vlog how my weight, I had a nice weight drop. It was like 2.5 pounds or so, or 2 pounds, I don't know, drop overnight, which was awesome. And I was expecting that to continue, a nice little trend downward. I had my high carb day, like that following day on, it was like the Sunday 2 weeks ago. My weight with that like 2.5 pound drop, it was like 143.8. And then the next day it was like 144, so nothing too crazy on that high carb day. And then following the high carb day, it was like 146, which is typical for me of like going up about 1.5 pounds to 2 pounds or so. And then I was like, okay, cool. Like now we'll have a nice little drop here throughout the week, typically what happens with my body. Well, instead of dropping, it started to go up. And my weight ended up going up like 4 pounds between when I last left you guys and then last weekend. So for my check-in, I was 147.4. I was like, okay, well, that's not ideal, but, you know, I normally have my weight drops on Saturdays. So I was like, okay, cool. So, like, by the next day, weight should at least, like, come down a little bit. Woke up the next morning, last Saturday, 148. So my weight had gone up. And again, of, like, over 4 pounds in a week. And so I was like, what the hell? And it was kind of good timing because last weekend was the NPC, I think it's like South Milwaukee Showdown is the name of the show. And that was the show that I was doing my girl Kelsey's makeup and hair and all the fun stuff. And so I was like in the area of the show, like downtown Milwaukee. And then my coach actually was like had a booth there because we had 3, I believe, total athletes that were competing that day. And so I caught up with him while I was there because I was like, oh, might as well, go over, work the booth, rep the team a little bit, catch up with some of my teammates. Audra was there, Helena was there, and our team mascot Teddy, the adorable puppy, was there too. And so, yeah, I was like, what's going on, Andre? Like, what do you think? And he was like, it's probably just some water retention from, time of the month and everything, and just like my cycle. And what can happen too with that is not only holding like subcutaneous water or water underneath the skin, but your body can actually pull more water into like your organs and your like digestive tract and everything. And so he's like, that's probably what it is. If you want to take some like turmeric, a little bit of dandelion root, and then some ginger and whatnot, just to like help my body kind of calm down, release some of the water, release some of the inflammation. He's like, do that and keep me updated. And so did that. And then luckily this past week, I did see my weight trend down with a new low weight as of yesterday, Thursday. And it was only by like 0.2 pounds, but I'll take it. Absolutely, I'll take it. And then I took my check-in pictures this morning, which I'll put on the screen here, which looked so much better than last week. My weight was like around 144 this morning. And then I did like a little side-by-side, which I will also insert here, of my check-in pictures from last week to this week. And oh my gosh, like once I put them side-by-side, I was like, oh, that's the inflammation I was holding. Yeah, it was dramatic, especially from the side. I could just tell like the water and again like inflammation. And so this is a lesson for you guys and a reminder for myself of the scale's only one measure of progress. And again, different life variables for us females, our time of the month and everything, like it can throw things for a heck of a loop. And so this is kind of the first time I've like had like that big like, what the heck, this prep. And so I did stress out about it a little bit more than what I should, because again, I know these things, but we just get in our head and, we want to see the scale drop, and I'm hard on myself. I expect the best. So it, caused a little bit of stress, but the weight did come down. Also, speaking of stress, the other thing I wanted to update you guys on, if you follow me on Instagram, you probably have already seen this, but my little boy, Ollie, my cat, he's like the vlog mascot. If you guys have been following my channel for a while, you guys know Ollie and probably love him almost as much as I do. And so as of last Sunday, my husband, he was working like second, kind of third shift hours this week. So he was up late, and at like 3 a.m., I guess that would have been Monday morning, he wakes me up middle of the night and he's like, hey, sorry to do this. Like, can you come take a look at Ollie? I don't think he's okay. And like immediately, and like Ollie's like, he's like my boy. Like Ava and Kyle are more so like buddies and stuff. I love Ava, but like Ollie is my baby. And immediately I'm like, oh my gosh, yeah. So I like spring out of bed and like go downstairs, and he's just like laying there, and he looks just miserable and sad, and he's breathing super heavy and like just lets out this meow cry that just breaks my heart. And I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, no, he's not okay. Like, help my baby. And so he's like, all right, I'm on it. Like, God bless Kyle. He just like takes Ollie, puts him in the little carrier, and like takes him to the ER vet immediately. And luckily it was like 8 minutes away. And so he ended up having a urinary blockage and ended up having to have some invasive surgery. So that happened Monday morning, and then they kept him at the vet, but then overnight, and then by Tuesday, like around noon, is when we went and picked him up. And the thing with urinary blockages, one, a bit expensive, like $5,000, little endeavor there, but again, worth it for Ollie. And then we've had to keep him kind of confined into smaller space just to monitor him, make sure he's like still peeing okay and everything. And so we put him in my upstairs office because then we also have the guest bathroom attached to there. And I have been watching him very, very, very closely since Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And then today we're also like continuing to monitor him, and he's progressing very well, healing well, doing great. You know, giving us lots of cuddles and you know, we're just giving him all the love. And again, I've kept a very close eye on him. So everything is progressing very well, but that also added another layer of stress to my mind, along with work stress this week. So it has been a freaking week, let me tell ya. But hey, we made it. We're here. And now I have essentially the 4-day weekend in front of me, which I'm really looking forward to. But yeah, so it's going to be kind of a chill vlog here. And now I see the amount of time I have been chatting so far in this vlog. So I'm going to wrap up this little clip. And then I think I'm just going to roll some of the footage of Kelsey and I from me doing, again, her hair and makeup. And I had so much fun, and it turned out so good. And she got so many compliments, and she was absolutely in love with it. So proud of myself for that, but also like, again, it was just super fun for somebody's first show to be able to like help them out and then give them just some words of wisdom and stuff like on their first show day morning. Keep her as calm as possible. I worked around her schedule. I'm like, girl, just let me know whatever you need. I got you. And now her husband is also competing in May along with her for her second show. He's doing his first show, and he's actually working with my coach Andre, which is super, 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 super cool. So we're all connected here in this little community, and I freaking love it. But yes, time to stop rambling, because I'm almost downtown for my hair appointment. So I'll show you guys the after of the hair, and then we'll go from there. Okay? Okay. Blonde and refreshed. I went with a little bit of like shorter kind of curtain bangs kind of deal, and then a nice little trim because I have been heat treating my hair, straightening, curling, all the things, and had more damage than usual. So my girl helped clean it up and get it nice and healthy again. Now it'll grow out, and now I'm going to be a little bit more careful with the heating tool. She gave me some tips. She's like, little baby hairs that got a lot damaged, a lot more than what she's used to seeing with me. So she talked some sense into me, got the message. We're gonna be a little bit more gentle on the hair with the heating irons and blow dryers and whatever. But I'm gonna head home and make some food. I did forget to tell you guys too, I did get another diet update last week, I think it was, and so calories are lower, I think around like 1,500 on training days, and then like 1,300 on rest days. And then I do get my one high carb day still, and that's like 2,100 calories, I believe. And then my rest days, so currently today, essentially no carbs. It's like protein and veggies. And so total carbs, it's like 50 for the day, all coming from vegetables. But that's fine, because I'm here to get shredded, and that's what we're gonna do. So yeah, I'm gonna go home and make my, it's like chicken and cauliflower rice and some peppers and stuff like that. Weirdly excited about it, and been obsessed with the cauliflower rice still. So I'm gonna go do that, and I'll check with you guys a little bit later. Well guys, it's like 6:30 p.m. and I just realized I forgot to pick back up the camera because I forgot I was vlogging today. So I just arrived at FedEx to drop off these suits to get them shipped to Aaron. If I can get this to stay straight. Nope. Let's try this. There we go. Okay, so before I put them in the mail and send them off to go, I want to show you the suits, because these are ones that I wore back towards the beginning of my figure journey. So we have this very pretty starburst one that I like to say this was my 2022 suit. The cups were too big, but should be good for my teammate. And then the bottoms as well. Super fun. And then I'm also sending just in case, so she has some options. This is the suit I wore for my very first bodybuilding show. So this little blue, it's got the black fabric, and then the blue and sparkles and the ombre. So that is the top, and then the bottoms also super cute, kind of similar as well. So that's what I'm sending off in the mail. And then I'm going to pick up my groceries after that. So I'm making a mental note when I get home, pick up the camera so I can show you guys what I get from the grocery store too. Okay, made it home and remembered to take the camera back out and got all the groceries inside. Move this over, folks. Okay, so let's take a look at what Paige got in her grocery haul, which for reference, again, I alluded to diet changes, not a lot of carbs, a lot of veggies, a lot of protein. I'm going to try to do this in a little bit of a logical order. So we're going to start with our proteins. So proteins wise, we have chicken breast, and then got lean ground turkey, 97.3 is what I go with. So I have 9 pounds of ground turkey, and then this is like 5 pounds of chicken, and I made like 6 pounds of chicken last weekend, so I already have a good amount of that done. And if I didn't say this before, on Sunday, today's Friday, yeah, Sunday, I'm doing my meal prep, and I am meal prepping for 3 weeks worth of food. So it is a large quantity, larger haul, but there's that. And then, again, sticking with the protein, lean ground beef, so this is 93.7 lean ground beef. Then we got egg whites, 3 total cartons, and then 2 cartons of whole eggs, and I think I had another like half carton in the fridge, and then 3 more cartons already in the fridge. So we have enough egg whites, that is for sure. Okay, next up we got veggies. So I love zucchini, and I've been eating a lot of zucchini. It's also a lower FODMAP food, so it keeps your digestive system a little bit happier than compared to like broccoli or Brussels sprouts, or even like cauliflower can be a little bit higher in fiber and just undigestible things. I don't know. And so I have like, I forget how many, I think it was like 20 pounds of zucchini. So this is all zucchini. And then this is all zucchini as well. So lots of zucchini to prep, but I got my commercial grade chopper, so that helps me take care of that. And then we have lettuce. I go through about like these 2 bags in a week, and then 1 bag of spinach, and that's also like about a week's worth. And there are the couple things that I get on a weekly basis. These are one of them, because you can't really freeze lettuce, at least that I'm aware of, and it gets really gross if you do. And then I have a crap ton of frozen vegetables. So I have more zucchini. These are the zoodles, or zucchini noodles, and they're just very convenient. And then it's also nice if like don't have to like prep them. I can just put the frozen bag in the microwave, and then they're good to go. Broccoli. This is the best brand. Don't at me. If you don't like broccoli, try this, and then tell me if you don't like it, because it's like absolutely delicious. Or again, maybe I'm in prep, but delicious, best brand ever of frozen goodies, more veggies. So I have these pepper and onion frozen mix, so they're already chopped up. So I literally just dump some in the air fryer and then cook them up, or I'll do it like on the skillet. Super easy. And then the last item, frozen veggies wise, is cauliflower rice. As I've been mentioning, freaking love this so much. And then I was gonna say last but not least, but it is the least in terms of quantity of what I get, is the carbs, because we have bananas, as the Brits say, bananas, and then rice. So I get 75 grams of white rice on my training days, and then again, no carbs or rice or anything on my rest days. But I just like using these, 1, because they taste good, and 2, because it's convenient. So I just take out like 75 grams, because I think 300 total grams in here. And then in terms of ingredients, there's just the rice in here, right? Let me just make sure. Yeah, just the rice, where if you get the other microwave rices, like the minute rice and stuff, or like the Uncle Ben's, it's got oil and added fat in there, and so you're not just getting rice. Okay, so that concludes our little grocery haul. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Again, it's funny during prep of like what you get excited about, and for me it's my certain brands of broccoli and my zoodles, zucchini noodles, and also my cauliflower rice. But I'm gonna get all this put away, and then I need to eat another meal of protein and veggies. But then I'm gonna actually try to take some time and relax for tonight. Ollie I don't know, he seems a little uncomfortable this afternoon, so we're just keeping a close eye on him. He's now hanging out in my husband's office, and I had him in my office all afternoon. He was stressing me out a little bit. That's also why I forgot to pick up the camera. But yeah, I just love him. He's my little boy. We don't have kids yet, but I imagine this is like a fraction of what people feel like that have kids, and it's just like, I want him to like be okay and be comfortable and be happy and whatever. So anyways, I'm gonna wrap up for the night, but I'm gonna pick up the camera again tomorrow. If I do anything of interest before the posing seminar, I will show you guys. I am hitting leg day, which maybe next weekend I'll record for you guys. But yeah, nothing too crazy going on, just morning cardio. Gotta edit, finish up the YouTube video that'll be going up this week, the one that'll have been live right before this one, and then definitely going to take you guys with to the posing seminar. So stay tuned for that. All right, guys, we are back. It's now Saturday, and just finished leg workout, and I am about to head to Animal House Gym. Before that, I am smashing a quick meal. So this is some ground turkey, white jasmine rice, zucchini, and then a little bit of cauliflower rice to supplement the 75 grams of jasmine rice. But yeah, so I'm gonna get this down and then head over to the gym. What I got in the back with me is actually a big old box of Crisp Power protein pretzels, because they were kind enough to send me a bunch of bags of pretzels to hand out to all the athletes today, which is super exciting. So all the athletes are gonna get a free little sample of some protein pretzels, which is great. But yeah, and I should be leading the figure division today. So that's also fun, because obviously very much in my wheelhouse, and it sounds like it's gonna be a pretty good turnout, like 75 or so people in total. So yeah, I'm gonna smash this meal and then head over. I am a little bit stressed out today just because Ollie, he's doing okay, but he's been not acting completely himself, not eating food like he normally does, and he's normally a really good eater. And so Kyle's taking him to the vet right now just to get him checked out. So hopefully we hear back soon, and hopefully he's doing okay. But I'll keep you guys updated on that as well. But I'm gonna go. This is gonna be a fun time. It's gonna be nice just to get my mind off of it and meet a bunch of athletes and stuff like that, because pouring into other people always fills my cup back up as well. So I will catch up with you guys when we get to Animal House. All right, guys, made it to Animal House. Got the pretzels set up here. This is the Animal House gym. Big old gym, lots of very good equipment. So yeah, we got all the athletes checking in here, and then we're gonna get rolling. Stacy typically does a rundown of like shows 101 kind of thing for the athletes, and then after that we break out into small groups. So we're gonna have some fun. I'm very much looking forward to it. I'll see if I can get a little clip of Stacy, but she'll be busy here for a little bit, so yes.
Yeah, I've never even heard of these.
Yeah, it's newer. They've been in the U.S. since like 2024.
It's 26 grams of protein.
Whole bag is like 200 calories. It's insane. Yeah, and they actually taste good. Yeah.
It's awesome.
Make sure you guys take some with you to try, yeah.
I talked to them at the Arnold.
Okay, yeah.
I want to see, if they can give me some stuff for the show.
Yes, and I can help coordinate too, because it's like the best way to get people introduced to the brand is to have them try it, and then they're like, oh, these are so good, and then immediately it's like, yeah, hooked. The Arnold was crazy. I was working at the booth like 3 of the days, and it was like nonstop. Yeah, like we ended up running out of product essentially by the end of it. So yeah, it was good. Lats are the hardest thing to engage, so you are not alone. All right, so let's have you ladies step up here. Kind of, we can just have you next to each other on this line. And then I'll kind of stand up here in the front. Okay, so figure posing, and then so you're NPC, or no, NGA. Okay, and then you are OCB. NGA posing, and I think it's the same as NPC of what it looks like. And then OCB will be a little bit different. But that's okay. We'll just roll with both because fundamentally it's kind of the same principles. Also, I'm so bad at introducing myself. Okay, so hello, my name is Paige. I'm an IFBB Figure Pro as of 2024. So I did my first run of pro shows last year, and then I'm in prep for more pro shows this year. But I think it took me like 5 years to get my pro card. And then I did like several Stacy's shows, and they're great. So like if you wanted to do NPC down the line or whatever, just keep her shows in mind. There's a lot of great shows in the Illinois area too. So yeah, there's a lot of great options, and then also a lot of federations obviously outside of NPC. So you have a lot of different like avenues that you can do, and so you can kind of like try out and see what fits best as well. So the way that I like to teach posing is essentially kind of from the ground up, if you will. And so I always start with the base, and then it's almost like a mental checklist I like to think about. And so that way it helps of like, as you're getting into your poses, you go through your mental checklist from your feet all the way up to your head, and that just makes it easier to remember. Figure posing, we're gonna do our front pose first. And so feet, I do like to have together, and it doesn't have to be like glued, because then sometimes it like makes it a little bit hard to balance. The other way, like you'll see girls do, is like having their feet like turned out like a duck, and I think it just doesn't look cute or pretty. So I am a fan of having the toes more so like straight ahead. The reason that people will have their feet turned out like that is because they think that they get more quad, like bigger quads. That actually comes from taking your quads and knees and externally rotating them out. And so when you externally rotate, you get that nice kind of quad sweep. And then kind of coming up and talking about like our hips. I used to do this when I first started. I would shoot my hips way back. And so you get like a little bit more like hip flexor detail. But then when you push your hips back, it makes your quads actually look smaller. So I'll do it kind of from the side so you can see. But it's just a slight pelvic tilt back. And so from the front, again, we have our knees externally rotated, just that slight little bump of the hips back. And then the quads are nice and flexed and tight. We want to see as much quad lines as possible, essentially. Then as we come up through the torso, we're gonna keep our chest nice and tall and lifted. Rib cage is also gonna be lifted nice and tall. And then core, we are keeping nice and tight. And then the most fun part is the lats and arms. Oh, you guys both got some good shoulders on you. Okay, yes, figure for sure. Okay, so I'll just kind of talk like general hand position first, and then I can talk about some lat cues as well. So my hands, I would say, are just outside of where my quads are. And I can kind of help adjust because it does depend on the person a little bit. but we just don't want them to be like too far out. A lot of people, when they think about bringing their lats out, they're like, the arms come out. You're trying to fill a lot more space then when you have your arms come way out, and it actually makes you look smaller. So that's why we have our arms a little bit closer to us. And so from the lat perspective, I think about kind of like expanding almost at the rib cage. And then from the back, you'll see that my back is like flush across. And I almost think about like pushing my lats kind of towards the mirror. Yep, yeah, so I can see actually both of your lats activating, which is honestly a huge feat in itself. So it may not feel like you're connected super well to them. That'll get better as you pose more. And then as you pose more, that actually helps with your back training and stuff too, everything kind of coming together. My lungs are full of air as well. And again, my chest is nice and lifted. And then from the back, I'm spreading my back across widthwise, and then almost thinking about kind of like pushing those lats towards the mirror. Yes, yeah, so I can see your lats coming out more already. Kind of coming back to arms and shoulders wise. I'll kind of turn to the side so you can see. So my hands are a little bit in front of me, and so that comes again from like thinking about like pushing those lats towards the mirror versus like if they were like down here, that kind of like retracts the lats a little bit. Yes. Okay. So let's hit those front poses, and then I can kind of tweak a little bit and then just kind of help you guys get, yes, in that optimal spot. Awesome. So then let's do our quarter turn to the right. So we're always going to be turning over our right shoulder. And so for the transition, it's going to be a little bit different between the two of you. So I'll speak NGA first. And so that'll be like same as what NPC is. So we're going to take our left foot. We're going to step to the side. And then our right foot just pivots. Yep. And then just comes together. Yes. Yeah. And there's kind of like two different ways you can do your side pose feet wise of like having them together like they are, or you can have a little bit of a stagger. And then, yeah, so the side pose for you is having arms in our quarter turn here. So it's almost like front pose, turn to the side kind of thing. So you want to have back again, like flush. And then again, almost like you're holding that beach ball. The thing with all the poses I like to think about that helps is our torso and our body is the picture, our arms are the picture frame. And so any of the poses, we want our body to be in the center as the picture and our arms be in the picture frame. We want equal distance between like our body to our elbows. And then we want our hands to be in the same line. We want our shoulders to be in the same line across. And so that kind of helps with like a mental checklist. Again, same with like that front pose. We want it to be equal on both sides. We want our hands to be in the same plane and then shoulders to be in the same plane as well. Yes, and then side poses for you, you're gonna be looking to the side. But then for OCB, it is going to be slightly quite a bit different. So, but not like hard different. So that's, yes, good. So transition wise from the front pose, we're gonna take our right foot and we're gonna step it back. So it's like almost like kind of parallel to the front wall. Yeah, so then you can just turn it, yep, just a little bit like that. And then this foot is gonna come kind of like just right in the middle, yes, of that back foot. Yeah, so it's almost in like a nice little T. Yeah, so from front, step back, and then kind of just move that front foot to just slide, yep, right into place. Beautiful, perfect. Okay, and then we do what we call the model pose, which is actually something that you could do for like an individual routine. And so with this T pose, our hips are gonna be to the side as much as possible. Hips kind of like pelvic tilt back. And that gives us a nice like S curve from our lat down to our glute. And then hands, we're gonna take our back arm and just make a fist and kind of put it right at our waist. Front arm, comes up into a nice, yes, pose here. Good. Yeah, so then this one, we're just gonna move it out a little bit like water. Yep. And then it's kind of same thing of like, we always wanna be thinking about our lats. So this elbow, yes, we're gonna be kind of pushing to the front. And then this, we will want to, yep, flatten out. Yeah, and I think that's just like tightness and mobility, right? Of like just being able to like spread that. So that'll come as like, I always like rolling out on like a lacrosse ball or like even like a little bigger one just helps like kind of like get that a little bit looser. And then that way we essentially want to be able to kind of like push that lat. Yes, yep, exactly, yes. So then we can transition to the back for both of you. It'll be the same, yay. And so from side pose, it's actually gonna be like pretty similar either if we're in the side pose or if we're in our side model pose. And side model, you are looking to the front as well. So we're gonna take our left foot and we're gonna step it over and our right foot just pivots and then we take our left foot and just bring it, yes, together with the other one. So I'll stand in front of you ladies. So then back pose for your weight is gonna be in your heels. And so, you know, like when you're like about to start an RDL and you can like, you like start the movement, your weight's in your heels and you kind of like feel your glutes and hamstrings light up. It's almost kind of like that feeling. Similar to the front, from the back, we're also going to be externally rotating our quads out because you actually get more quad sweep from the back versus like if I just have them straight versus if I externally rotate them, you get a lot more sweep back there. In terms of what we're flexing or not flexing, hamstrings are activated, glutes are not flexing. One cue that works for me is I think about like squeezing a ball in between my knees almost, and that helps me like light up the glute ham area. For upper body, very similar to the front pose, so that's great. So only difference here is we have just a slight lean back, so then the judges can see our nice taper. And so glutes are shifted as kind of like far back as we can to have that nice lower back arch that feels terrible. And then arms come up, chin up as well from the back pose makes a big difference. And again, that slight kind of angle back as well. And then I can help kind of like tweak and stuff too, but one thing to keep in mind is if you're trying to get a lot of width, as soon as those shoulders roll forward, you end up losing your rear delts and your detail from the back. So it's a balance between having the width, but then having that slight pop back of the rear delts to make sure everything is framed up top. And then, so you have the width and the detail. Yes. Hell yeah, girl. Woo, let's go. You're like, what's going on back there? I don't know. I'll take a picture for you before you go so you can actually see. All right, let's hit it. Oh yeah, another figure, girl. Oh, squudge. One more time, just to make a little tweak with the elbows. Yeah, but you got the really good connection. So yep, just a little bit. Yeah. Kind of just like high level like stage presentation things to keep in mind. Whenever you guys are on stage, you're being judged. So if that's like you're waiting on the side of the stage to come on for say like pre-judging or for your routine, I always just like to hold just like either like a side model pose or like just just holding some kind of pose. So you're, yeah, so if the judges look over, you're not like, got out, yeah, you're like, I'm ready. So yeah, just always staying in like some kind of pose whenever you're on stage or whenever the judges can see you. And then always smiling. So when you're doing your posing practice, I always smile. I was on the dance team in high school for a year and our coach made us smile during every, we never stopped smiling. So that's where I got it from. In every single one of my check-in pictures, you will see me smiling. Literally, I was telling my husband this from 2019 all the way to the current week. I have posted my check-in pictures every single week through, and I have it saved on my highlight too if you want to see what I looked like when I started. And every single damn one, you'll see me smiling. So always smile when you practice because then it just makes it feel less weird when you're on stage. And people will like, they just forget to smile. And like I've told like clients that before and they're like, oh my God, I wasn't smiling. And I'm like, no, They're like, shoot. I'm like, just do it for finals, you'll be fine. Because you want your stage pictures to like have the smiling in there too. Cool. Let me check my notes and see if I'm missing anything. Yay! I'm so glad to hear.
Yeah, that was. I feel like figures easy though, because it was only a few poses.
All right, guys, all wrapped up with the posing seminar, which it was so much fun. As you saw, had the two figure girlies, one that is doing NGA and then one that is doing an OCB show. And they both, it was like essentially their first time posing. And I think both of them, it was like literally their first time posing in heels as well. And by the end, both of them were like, oh my gosh, we feel so much better about this, so much more confident. And the one girl that's doing the NGA show, like she's literally doing it in like 3 weeks, and she like started prep like last week because somebody up in the Green Bay area, Rosalie, actually, you guys know Rosalie from my vlogs last year, is helping her up there. And she's like, yeah, I think you should jump into a show. And sometimes the thing with bodybuilding is like you don't know if you like it until you actually do a show. And so she's like, you think I can do this? You think I got this? I'm like, girl, yes. Like, she looked incredible. Both of them super great shape for figure, like the shoulders, the lats, everything. So I'm like, both of you guys are definitely in the right division, and so that's super exciting. And again, I just love being able to see the posing click for people and making them feel like more confident in being able to go on stage, especially for the first show. Like, that is so freaking daunting. So yeah, I had a ton of fun, met a ton of awesome girlies, and yeah, couldn't have asked for a better little posing session. Update though on Mr. Ollie. I think I mentioned, yeah, urinary blockage. He is reblocked, which is not great. Kyle took him back to the vet, and he's going back in for surgery round 2. And like, it was like literally right before I went inside, Kyle was texting me about it and stuff, and like giving me the price quotes, which I think the first one, it was like around $5,000, and now it's going to be an additional $3,000 to $4,000 to $5,000 again, which again isn't great, but I freaking love that cat with my whole entire heart, and so we're giving it another go. So you guys can send your prayers and good thoughts and good vibes and everything, and I really hope by the next vlog I will have a positive update for you guys, and I can show you him nice and happy and unblocked, hopefully. So with that, I hope you guys have enjoyed this vlog. As always though, you guys know what to do. Make sure to like, share, comment, subscribe, and ring that notification bell. And if you guys want Ollie to get better, drop the little cat emoji down in the comments down below too. And I very much appreciate that, and it would make me feel better as well. So thank you for your support. Thank you for watching. Thank you for following along. And I'll catch you guys in the next vlog, which will be, the next 2 vlogs actually will probably be taking you guys with me to 2 different NPC Illinois shows. We have NPC Phoenix Production Noble Warrior show next weekend, and then the weekend after that we have the NPC Mid Illinois State show as well. So that is going to be exciting. And then the week after that, then we have the athlete seminar, posing workshop, everything with Miss 6-time Olympia Drea Shaw, and I have a posing session with her myself, and I have a posing client as well, so that's gonna be super fun. So we do have a ton of fun stuff coming up, so stay tuned, subscribe, like, share, all the fun stuff, and I love you guys, and thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you guys soon.